And before I go any further, I want to address the elephant in the room, which is, okay, but I can't link story pins, and Pinterest is what I use to drive traffic to my blog or website. So what is the point? Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Austin and I am a fashion and beauty content creator based in New York City. Today we are going to talk all about story pins on Pinterest and how to use them. So in this video I want to cover what story pins are and why Pinterest introduced them in the first place. I'm going to talk about why you should still create story pins even though you can't link them. I know, but I will explain. And I'm going to show you 3 super easy ways to create story pins. If you're not already, consider subscribing to my channel. I upload videos every Sunday with tips for content creators as well as beauty product reviews. But let's kick it off with a quick explainer again. What are story pins and why is Pinterest doing this? So story pins are very similar to story style content that you may be familiar with on Instagram or maybe Snapchat. It is basically a vertical tappable format within Pinterest, and you tap through to advance different slides or cards. As you probably already know, short form video content is on the rise with TikTok and Instagram Reels, which I have mixed feelings about, but that's a story for another video. This one actually, if you want to watch it. And in addition to short form video content being important and taking over, we're starting to notice more brands and platforms invest in story style content because it's an easy and digestible way for people to consume information. If you have a Pinterest account and you don't currently have access to story pins, I'm going to leave a link down below in the description box of this video to show you exactly how you can access story pins. If you're in the US, you can do it in your account settings. And if you're watching this and you're not in the US, there is a form that you can fill out to request access. And before I go any further, I want to address the elephant in the room, which is, okay, but I can't link story pins, and Pinterest is what I use to drive traffic to my blog or website. So what is the point? If you think about what Pinterest has done, they have created a really powerful visual search engine, which means people come to Pinterest to look for things and they ultimately end up clicking off of the platform to people's blogs and websites. This has made it an incredible tool for bloggers to use to drive people and visitors over to their blog, but kind of leaves Pinterest in a bit of a sticky situation. Stories is Pinterest's way of encouraging users to upload content specifically for Pinterest to the Pinterest platform to increase people's time spent on Pinterest. So yes, the bad news is right now you can't link out of story pins because Pinterest is using them as a tactic to keep people on their platform. The silver lining for you is that Pinterest is promoting these a lot. While Pinterest is pushing this new form of content within their algorithm, it's a chance for you to get tons of exposure. And while people may not be able to click out directly from your story pins, if it attracts them to your profile and they decide to follow you, they will then start seeing all of your other pins, which do have links as well. Here are my impressions from the past 90 days where I have been heavily testing and creating story pins on my own page. As you can see, my analytics are up overall, and I actually had one single story pin go viral and receive over 1 million impressions on the platform. From the last 90 days, 4 of my story pins in total hit 1.6 million impressions. So that is a lot of people that I may not have been able to reach had I not been testing story pins. And while I can't track actions on story pins in terms of click-throughs to my website, I have seen an increase in followers, and I have also seen an increase in my monthly page views on Pinterest. So hopefully at this point you're still watching and I've convinced you that it is worth experimenting with this at the very least to see how it goes. And now let's get into 3 easy ways to create story pins. Now, the first way that I create story pins, and really the only way I create story pins right now, is by using an app called Jumprope. As some of you may already know, Jumprope is an awesome app for creating, sharing, and discovering engaging content. So even though you may download Jumprope with the sole intention of using it to create Pinterest story pins, you will also get downloadable versions of your content that you can share to every social media platform. So you'll get a 4x5 video you can share to your Instagram feed, you'll get a 9x16 sped up version of your video that you can share to TikTok, and you will also get 5 other versions of your content that you can share to Pinterest, including 3 different image pins and 2 different styles of videos that you can upload to Pinterest. This is by far the quickest and easiest way for me to create story pins, not to mention that that content goes a long way past just story pins. So while I'm giving Pinterest what they want by creating unique and awesome content to upload to their platform, I also can benefit by sharing it to all of my other social media platforms as well, so that I'm not just creating one thing for one specific purpose, but I'm able to stretch the life of that content and share to many different platforms in addition to the one I'm creating for. It's really quick and easy to create using Jumprope. You simply upload photos or videos from your camera roll to the app, and from there you can add them to different cards, and you can add text and customize with colors and fonts and even music options. Then you hit publish and you get versions of your Jumprope that you can share to every platform, like I said. One thing to note is that Jumprope doesn't yet have a Pinterest Stories version specifically outlined on the app, but you can download either the Instagram Stories or Facebook Stories and upload them the exact same way. And as an added bonus, Jumprope is not just a tool, but a platform as well. So any content you create using Jumprope will also live on their platform, which is giving you a bonus audience for the content you create and is a great way to also get your hands on another platform and grow on there. If I sound like an expert at Jumprope, you may know it's because I work there. So if you guys do have any Jumprope related questions, feel free to let me know. I'm more than happy to answer them. Moving on to the second way to create Pinterest story content, and that is by using Canva. Canva, as you may know, is a free design tool that you can use online or using their app. I prefer to work on the desktop version of Canva, so I'm going to show you how to create story pins using that. On Canva, I usually start by selecting the Instagram Stories format, which is a 9x16 vertical card to start out with. And from there, you can either upload photos or videos. You can upload photos and add text to it. And this is a really great way to make sure your Pinterest stories are super personalized and super true to your own brand identity and aesthetic. I have preloaded fonts and colors in Canva that match my personal brand and style, so I'm able to use Canva to really quickly and easily create pin content and kind of duplicate it or create a chronological sequence of things that I can upload to Pinterest stories. So in this example, I recently created a blog post with 13 influencer podcasts that you should subscribe to in 2021. And if I wanted to turn this into story pins, since I already have the content and I may as well just create some content for Pinterest as well, what I would do is use my brand colors and little brand elements to create a fun background. I would upload my fonts to create a kind of styled template that I can upload to Pinterest stories. And I would just swap out the photo of the podcast cover as well as the name of the podcast and do that for each one of the podcasts that I talked about in my blog post. Now I can create this story pin and I can also create other types of pins to promote this blog post that do link back to it. So it is just a fun and additional way to get that content. And of course the story pin is very surface level, right? It just has the names of the podcast, but if you wanted to read more about these different podcasts and learn why they're worth listening to, that's where you would be able to click through and get all of the full information over on my blog post. The third and final way that you can create Pinterest stories is to do it directly in Pinterest. So I just wanted to show a quick example on my mobile device of what this looks like to create content within Pinterest directly. You can customize to a certain extent, but not as much as you would be able to do with Jumprope or Canva. I'm sure that this is because Pinterest stories are still in early access, and so their in-app capabilities may expand in the future. Obviously, Jumprope and Canva have been working on these kind of editing tools and features for much longer, so they're a bit more sophisticated if you want to create this type of content. But if you don't want any extra tools and you just want to keep it simple, you can definitely do it within Pinterest. So you can add things like text and music over to your Pinterest pins and then upload it the same way that you normally would. Before I wrap up this video, I wanted to share one thought with you that I think you're going to want to listen to and take my advice on with this. So you may think that, oh, I can just upload a bunch of one card story pins to Pinterest that kind of just are, you know, a recycled TikTok video that I put text over, or little teasers that I can send people to my blog with. But here's why I would recommend not doing that in the long term. Right now, any story pins seem to be getting a pretty heavy level of promotion from Pinterest as far as I can tell, but I don't think that in the long term, Pinterest will prioritize this type of content to be shown to their users because it's just not a great user experience. While this teaser type content on Pinterest stories may work in the short term, I believe in the long term, they are looking for people who are actually creating thoughtful content for their platform, and that is what will get picked up in the algorithm and shown to more viewers. So if you are just playing with it right now and you do upload a couple of one slide story pins, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I would try to be more thoughtful about what content you are uploading to Pinterest because I think it'll be the right play for the long term to increase increase your exposure on the app and platform and give them a lot of great content that they want to circulate and share with as many people as possible. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents and a recommendation. And if you are using something like Jumprope to create your Pinterest stories, remember you'll get versions of that content you can share to other platforms as well. So it'll make it more worth your while, and you can still create great content for things like Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. And you'll also be creating and sharing that content to Pinterest stories as well. If you're looking for more tips on how to use Pinterest as a blogger, I do have this video right here where I break down strategies more specifically for driving traffic back to your blog or website. So definitely go check that one out next if you'd like some more tips. I will link it down in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching my video today. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos every Sunday, and give me a thumbs up down below. That lets me know that you enjoyed this type of content and that I should create more Pinterest videos in the future. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye!